Saturday is Hambletonian Day at the Meadowlands with a 12 noon start. There are four guaranteed pools on the card. There's a 50,000, a 75,000, a 100,000, a 125,000. And being that Matt's an everyday, middle of the road type of guy, we're going to go with the $100,000 guaranteed pick four in race number 8 as what we discussed today. Matt, what do you think?
I just can't believe it's Hambletonian time already. Hambletonian Day, always a great day. Awesome stakes races. What did you say? 14 stakes races or something like that on the card. And anyway, yeah, what we're going to discuss are races 8 through 11, which don't include the Hambo or the Hambo Oaks, but four very competitive races in the sequence. So I'm sure one of us will connect on this ticket. Hopefully, it's me because I am well overdue. So we shall see.
One of the great parts of all these exotic wagers, these multi-race guaranteed wagers, is DRF Bets has a 5% rebate on all exotic wagers, and if you wager 200 on the day, you get a $10 bonus. So lots of good things there. We're going to jump right into it. Race number 8 on the card. There's an 8-horse field. It's the Cane Pace going for $275,000. And Matt, from my viewpoint, this is a 2-horse race.
Yeah, I think we have a standout, definitely, and a well-deserved favorite in Beach Glass. Yannick Gingras driving again for the Brent McGrath barn. 9-5 morning line, deservedly so. I don't know how else to say it. He's the horse to beat. Did he get run over in the Adios? Yeah, but his main rival from the North America Cup is nowhere to be found, and we saw what happened in the Meadowlands Pace when he was away from that rival Pebble Beach. You know, he cruised. So I'm not worried about him not winning the Adios. I think he's going to handle his affairs here as a deserving favorite, and ultimately will be a key to lead off the sequence.
Well, let me make a case for another horse in the race, and that's the 3 Mad Max Hanover, and we're going to take a look at his replay from last week. He was the Meadowlands Pace runner-up behind Beach Glass, and here he is in the gears, just blowing away the competition in a 147 and 4 mile on a track that was a little deep and playing a little bit slow compared to Meadowlands Pace night. You know, that could have been a 47 or 46 and 4 mile maybe on a faster card. Maybe this horse is just coming into his own and he's ready to take on Beach Glass, who has raced 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be his 5th straight week racing.
Well, you explained to me in excruciating detail about how much slower the track was last week as compared to on Meadowlands Pace night. And we saw Mad Max Hanover was a big price in the Meadowlands Pace and put in a great effort to be second. And last week he was odds on, so you have to assume after being a big price in his prior starts, he's odds on last week in the gears. He's supposed to do what he did, and yeah, he did it with ease. But now he faces a bit of a tougher test, and that's likely trying to run down Beach Glass. And could he do it from obviously be much closer? Than he was in Meadowlands Pace. Yeah, I think he can, but I think Beach Glass is just more accomplished right now, and I just don't see him getting caught.
Since neither of us really think any of the other horses have a big shot in here unless they really step up their game from what they've been showing in the past, we're going to move on to the second leg, which is race number 9, the Lady Liberty, for $173,000. This is an 11-horse field. You see 8 of them on the screen. There'll be 3 more to come, and the horse to beat in this race is clearly Test of Faith.
Yeah, we have another standout on paper, standout in this division with the aged open mares. Test of Faith is clearly is the cream of the crop, but as confident as I am maybe with Beach Glass taking care of its competition to Cane, I'm not entirely convinced that Test of Faith it's just going to be like a total gimme Jogola at even money or lower. So I'm actually going to spread around in this race. This will be my leg trying to beat the favorite. You know, I remember watching the Houghton final, thinking, "Gosh, I didn't think she was going to be first over," and it was a methodical grind, and she just ran away and hid from these. But you know, this is not the easiest spot in a bulky field. Has to be forwardly placed. But do you think she's a gimme here? Because I'm not
I,
totally sold on her.
I actually do think, well, I wouldn't say she's a gimme. I don't think I wouldn't say that she absolutely can't lose, but I would say that something has to go very, 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 very wrong for her to lose. But I think it's interesting for you to take the stance of, you know, going deep in this leg, because if you do happen to beat her, you're going to get a huge payout on your pick four, because I would say 75% of the tickets coming into this leg are probably going to keep Test of Faith, and rightfully so. She's been absolutely brilliant. If I was going to take a shot with someone else here, I think you have most of the right horses. I think Michaela, for me, is the most interesting horse. You know, getting George Brennan back in the bike, and she was spectacular early this year. Has already beaten Test of Faith once, though. You know, things kind of went her way, and that's why she was able to do it. But last start, she had absolutely no shot. The start before that, she was absolutely brutalized. Kind of, well, not brutalized physically, but the trip was brutal. I mean, she was
Yeah, we
parked
know
out
what you
every
mean.
single step. You know, well, I wanted to make it clear just in case someone is listening. But she was parked every step. Brian Sears thought he was going to get an easy lead, and the David Miller, I think, was on Test of Faith, was having no part of it. Was refused to let him go. So to me, she's the other one I look at. Racing Bell usually wins if she gets her own way. I don't think she's going to. I think Test of Faith is going to be floating away, brushing to the lead, and good luck catching her.
Okay, I mean, you know, I can't disagree with that. And while I did use Racine Bell because, listen, the forwardly placed horses, you know, the ones that usually trip out, you never know if something does go wrong with Test of Faith, and Racine Bell can, you know, sneak up the pylons or something like that after leaving and sitting a trip. I mean, I did go 5 deep, considering that you know, I have a key in the first leg. I have a key that we'll get to in the third leg. I used 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. I agree with you with Michaela. Hot Mess Express kind of intrigues me a little bit. You know, we saw great 3-year-old, 2 and 3-year-old seasons, and you know, she can certainly build off of that last week's race. Racing Bell, like I mentioned, and Line Sentinel, who I'm not in love with from the outside post, but you know, if everything goes her way, she is more than capable. So 5 deep, Test of Faith is included. I hope I don't get flamed by people on Twitter and such that say, you know, don't use the favorite at all if you know, if you take a stand against him or her. But anyway, 5 deep, and we're going to beat Test of Faith, and I'm going to be you know, all giddy and excited moving on to the third leg.
It's Hambletonian Day. On Hambletonian Day, you're allowed to use that extra horse, and we're going to move on to race number 10. It's the Sam McKee Memorial. $278,000 is on the line, honoring one of the great men of the sport, a man I knew well and I certainly miss. And this field of 11 is, I think, pretty power packed. I know you ended up saying that you were going to go with a single here, but for me, this was more of a wide open race where there are a number of horses can win. But we're going to take a look at the replay of your single winning a qualifier last week, and doing so like completely wrapped up as a buck of Bet Hanover tries to chase him down.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky Road Hanover qualified in the morning at the Meadowlands to, I guess, stay sharp after his runner-up effort in the Houghton Memorial. You know, we saw in that qualifier, if he did anything less than what we just saw, there'd be some concerns, but I'm sure the connections and Tony Longden were satisfied with that race. And listen, this is the 9-post and yet another bulky field with a starter from the second tier, but I haven't seen any of these other horses that have been able to step up to the level of Rocky Road Hanover. And you know, we saw in the Houghton how he chased Bulldog Hanover, who's just been, you know, ridiculous, setting that world record mile. And Rocky Road Hanover was there every step of the way, chasing him home quite willingly, well clear of the rest of the field. If I don't McKee, Rocky Road, Hanover, I don't know who else to use. Do I have to spread and go 5 deep, like in a test of faith race? I have a stronger opinion of Rocky Road, Hanover. I wasn't totally sold on this horse until I saw that Houghton effort, being able to clear the front from the outside post. I just think it's going to be the same scenario here, and I don't see anyone running him down.
Well, riddle me this. I look at this field and I see Rocky Road Hanover working on a mystery, Catch the Fire, maybe Poseidon Sealster, Nicholas Beach. I see a bunch of horses who could potentially leave the gate here, really hard. What kind of trip you're going to get with Rocky Road Hanover from post 9?
Let's say Tom McCarthy floats out or leaves hard, which he obviously, is going to do. Of all those aforementioned horses, if they see whoever is on top, early on in the mile, if they see Rocky Road Hanover coming, they're not going to release Todd McCarthy to the front. I can't envision that, not happening. So I'm just of the frame of mind that Todd McCarthy is going to drive on like he did in his last starts and be able to clear the front. Hopefully not get torched, too early, or be able to relax a little, maybe in the third quarter, assuming he can make the front. And I think it won't be a problem, it won't be necessarily a problem from there. I mean, I don't know what your opinion is. Let's say that scenario happens, who's going to run him down? A Bucket Bad Hanover?
I was going to say
Catch the Fire, and maybe is kind of intriguing with getting Dexter done, but I don't see anybody that's risen to the level of Rocky Road Hanover, over the last couple months.
Well, I think Catch the Fire is intriguing. I actually picked him second. He's going to be on my ticket here. I like Dexter Dunn jumping on board, but I also think if you look at the progression of his races, he was doing double duty. He couldn't leave the state. He was trying to set up for the Battle of Lake Erie, but he ended up in the second tier. Then it was kind of, a race that didn't really matter much. Then he was in a stakes race at the Meadowlands, but he had never been that speed all year. He's been racing on smaller tracks in Ohio. He wasn't quite ready. Blew out a nice mile last time at Pocono, 47-4. I think he's a horse that potentially, could be ready to step up with a big mile. As a 4-year-old here last year, he went 47-2, which it's a pretty nice mile. I'm using Poseidon Sealstar on my ticket, who has also put up a 47-mile here in the past and has been able to go big fractions here in the past, he's proven. But my top pick is a Bucket Bad Hanover, and I understand he didn't look quite as good as Rocky Road Hanover in the qualifier. But, hey, if the speed duel develops, I would have to say, I didn't do the research on this, but a Bucket Bad Hanover has to be the only horse in the history of harness racing to post consecutive 24-4 final quarters. And he's my closer if they go crazy, and that's what I think.
Well, I don't think we're going to see a 24-4 final quarter here, but that's an interesting stat if correct. It all comes down to trip, I guess, with that horse in a bulky field, starting from the rail. Does he get shuffled back early? As other horses cross over? Who knows? I mean, I'm assuming he'll be a relatively clear second choice. Working on a mystery will probably take some money. I think Catch the Fire takes some money. Nicholas Beach intrigues me a little bit. We saw him a close-up second over in the Houghton, which really isn't his trip, and then when the top two sprinted away, he was kind of left in the dust. But, he's another one. I keep hearing about how fast and talented he is. Maybe he'll step it up one of these weeks. But like I said, I guess I am repeating myself again. It all comes down to Rocky Road Hanover for me. Like I said, I just don't see anyone currently talented enough to run him down.
All right, well, we talk about bulky fields. We're going to close this Pick 4 sequence out, the $100,000 Pick 4, race number 11. It's the Vincennes, and it's a trot for $60,000, and there are 12 horses in this race. And I know for a fact that my opinion's a little bit better than Matt's here because I think he pressed the all button.
I think you can legitimately make a case for all 12 horses in this race. I can't definitively throw anybody out. I mean, it is a wide open race. I can't even tell you who the favorite's going to be. I mean, Amigo Volo is the 3-1, top choice. But I mean, if I had to narrow it down, and if you force me to make a top selection, I think I'll go with the One Hill Exotic, Yannick Gingras being reunited with the Ron Burke trainee, who's just been. Listen, he was a nice horse, a solid horse when his prior connection when Trot Sledgehammer had him, and now Ron Burke took him over, and he's just been super. Racing mostly on the half-mile tracks at Yonkers, but he's raced plenty of times in the Meadowlands. But this is just, you can make a case for anyone. And since I have 2 keys on my ticket, I know it's a little unorthodox to go on all in a 12-horse field, but how cool would it be if I beat Tested Faith and I'm alive in the last leg here with an all? Just it's always fun to just do all the math in your head and to write down the probables and stuff like that. But since you claim to have a stronger opinion, which you do because I know you narrowed it down, who'd you narrow it down to?
I have 2 strong opinions in this race, and one's for and one's against. I'll start with the 4, since the 4 is on the screen right now, and that's the 11 Incommunicado, who was 3 starts back was spectacular with I think a driver getting his first career win at the Meadowlands, and then 2 starts back in the Hambletonian Maturity was run off the track by the starting gate, who went inside the pylons. And then last time in the Spirit of Massachusetts left and was completely shuffled out of the race. We're getting a new driver here to Orjan Kihlström, who certainly is familiar with bulky fields, being a Swede native who drives over in Europe and has won over 7,000 races. He's certainly my top pick in here, and he's 15-1 morning line, and I don't think we're going to get it. I think I'm thinking 6-1 seems about what I'm expecting, because I think everyone else is probably going to see some of the things that I saw there. Now, my one strong opinion against is Amigo Volo. Amigo Volo has 24 wins in 53 lifetime starts, and that looks spectacular. And he's 0 for 17 at the Meadowlands, and he's the 3-1 morning line favorite. So he's my strong play against, and he could win. He's got 3 seconds and 3/3 at the Meadowlands, but 0 for 17, that just doesn't work for me.
That's a great stat. You know what? That's a great informative stat, which, yeah, I mean, for people that go on stat, don't go on hunches or take each race as like an independent affair. Like, I don't care if he's 0 for 100, he can win this race. That's a very, very telling stat. I'm sure a lot of that was based on bad luck, with a horse this talented. But, like I said, this field is so deep. Your top choice, I have a strong opinion on it, is 15-1 on the morning line. That's how deep this field is. The horse also stuck in the second tier, Stormy Cromer. I'll give him a little mention. I think he deserves some recognition, which he's kind of finally getting by being in this race. And being at the Meadowlands on their biggest day. He's just been an ATM machine racing, week in and week out at Yonkers in their open handicap. He already has, I believe, 3 or 4 open wins this year. He's already well into 6 figures. I'm glad to see him on a bigger stage. It's kind of cool. He kind of deserves it. Do I think he can win this race? Probably not. But again.
Whoa! You think he can win the race? You win all.
I said I don't think he can win the race, but
you won all. So you think he can win the race?
But I can't toss him. But I can't toss him either. What am I going to do? Use 11 horses and forget to press the 12? It's easier to press all than to punch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I'm just mentioning that it's nice to see.
It's a lazy call.
No,
I'm lazy. I can understand that. A lot of people like to be lazy.
My ticket's only $30. What am I going to do? I'll make it 28 and eliminate 1 horse? No. $30 to get that all.
Why don't we bring the ticket up on the screen?
Writing down. Okay.
Let's bring the ticket up on the screen so we can see your ticket and how you're playing this pick 4 here. $100,000 guaranteed. Hopefully people play it on DRF bets so they can get a 5% rebate too.
Yeah, so we have Beach Glass, who I keyed. We went 5 deep in the Test of Faith race. Key Rocky Road Hanover, because if I don't key him, I don't know who else to use. I don't have like a strong second opinion at all. and then they mega spread in race 11, but it's still because there's two keys, it's only a $30 play. And like you said, it's Hambo Day. You're allowed to throw in some extra horses and make some peculiar choices, without getting flamed. So there it is, $30. I know your ticket is more reasonable, I imagine.
I have to save some money for the $125,000 guaranteed pick four that starts in race 12 with the Hamiltonian Oaks. We'll take a look at my ticket here. And it's a little bit more economical at $12. I went Mad Max Hanover and Beach Class. I'm probably going to, press the second ticket with Mad Max Hanover because I really think he can beat him and he'll be a slightly better price. I keep Test of Faith. I think she's going to win that race. We've already discussed it. 1, 6, 7, and 9. Part of me wants to throw out Rocky Road Hanover in there, and I might, play another ticket without Rocky Road Hanover just to press the horses that I like a little bit better. And then we close it out with 7, 10, and 11. Sirocco Rob is about as consistent as he come. He wins over the track, and Venerate might be the best horse in the race if he decides to show up, which is always a big if. But we have 2 tickets for you, $12 and $30. You could decide which one you like to play best. Hopefully you'll play them on DRF bets and you'll check out all the past performances. We have the entire 16 race card, which starts at noon, up on drf.com/harness. Good luck.